Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Cider Drinker Top 10. This is a continuation of my little mini-series that I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks or so, whenever I get the chance, to count down the top 10 ciders, or perries, or whatever it may be, from Untappd on different categories. So last time I did the top 10 dry ciders that I've rated on Untappd, and this time I'm going to be going the other end of the spectrum, and I'm going to be doing their sweet ciders. So, some interesting choices on this, and obviously the stipulations for my normal countdowns don't apply, so you might be saying ciders from beer or cider festivals, or ones that you might not have seen me review before because I haven't either had the chance, or I've just had them in a bar and haven't had the chance to review them. So you might see them as a review later on, so I won't go into too much detail about them, but as with the last countdown, you're just going to be seeing pictures on my phone because, well, my PC's rubbish. It doesn't have the equipment to put the old images on the bottom of the screen or anything like that. I really need to get a new PC, but anyway, that's beside the point. So, it's a bit of a strange one to start off the list, actually, at number 10. It's, well, it is a sweet cider, but it's also what I suppose you could call an infused cider. I mean, we're starting off strong. I mean, this one has a 7 out of 10 from me, but it is, let's see if I can pop an old picture up of it. It is Snails Bank's Rhubarb Sweet Still Cider. There you go, just about to see it there. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not a big fan of rhubarb, just as in itself, but in a cider, it actually does sort of work quite well, and this one was a very good example of it. It's very sessionable at 4% ABV, and yeah, I've seen it at a lot of beer and cider festivals as well, but I actually had this at one of my locals because they tend to stock quite a lot of ciders there. But yeah, Snails Bank are quite prevalent to beer and cider festivals, so you've probably seen it as well. So that was number 10. Number 9 is, where did I have this one? I had it in Chelmsford, actually, at the Ale House. It is Joe's Sweet Still Cider. Let's see, there you go. So there's the picture I had of it. To be honest, most of them are going to look pretty much exactly the same, aren't they? But yeah, see if I can get. There's the logo for them. I don't know if you can see. Actually, yeah, I suppose you can see that. Yeah, I've described this as sweet and floral. It was very nice and juicy from what I remember. It's the only one that I've had from Purbeck Cider Company, who make this cider, who are based in Wareham in Dorset, so that's probably why. So, you know, you don't really see many from the southwest around here, unless it is like a beer or cider festival or something like that. But it's got pretty decent ratings. It's got an overall rating of 3.3 on Untappd, so, you know, that's a fairly decent rating there. So yeah, number 9 was Joe's Sweet Still Cider. Right, on to the next one. This one doesn't have a logo on it, unfortunately, but it is Cidersmiths of London and their Harry Masters Jersey Craft Cider. Now, this is one that I had at home because you can see I've used my Orchard box tankard there, so this was a little while ago. I've had a couple from Cidersmiths now. I believe they were called Hoxton Cidersmiths. I don't know why it's just called Cidersmiths here. But yeah, really good cider company. They produce some really good ciders, and this one was a very good example of a single variety sweet cider, which you don't normally get. And this one has an average rating of 3.45 on Untappd, so slightly better than the Purbeck's one. So yeah, definitely keep your eyes out for that one. Cidersmith's Harry Masters Jersey Craft Cider. You'll probably be able to see it around London quite a lot. So, number 7 is from Ireland. I recognise this logo anywhere. It is from Novahal Drinks Company in Cork, Ireland. It's Stonewell's medium dry Irish craft cider. There we go, and I do actually have the picture of the bottle there. Yeah. While I was over in Dublin, I tried to try as many different ciders as possible that weren't starting with an M or a B, and yeah, this was really good. In fact, this was one I had while I was in Bristol, of all things, even though it's an Irish made cider, but it was a little bit drier than I was expecting from a sweet cider. It was more of a medium sweet, but generally it was very nice. Lovely elderflower-like aftertaste to it, and very easy to drink, especially if it was on a hot day. This one has got an average rating of 3.79, so we are going up in the old ratings there, but we do go down on the next one, unfortunately, which I don't really know why, because it's from Turner's Cider Company, and it's their sweet cider. That's there's nothing, can't really say much more to that. Hold on, let me enlarge the picture there. Yeah, Turner's sweet cider. Very simple labelling from these guys, but, you know, sometimes the simpler labels are the ones that actually produce the best sort of ciders. But this one had a little bit of tartness behind it. I have done a review of this one, so you can check it out on my channel. I'll probably pop a card up in the corner so you can just quickly jump over onto that. So I won't say too much of it, but it was a very enjoyable drink. And this one has got an average rating of 3.64 on Untappd, and it's not one to be taken lightly because it does come in at 7% ABV. So you gotta watch out for these bad boys sometimes. So, I believe we're going back to London for the next one. Yes, we are. We're going to Crate Microbrewery. Yes, it's a brewery that has made a cider, and, well, it's Crate's cider, basically. I've had this quite a few times, actually, but this was the first time I had it. This is what the old labelling looked like. And again, a very simple label there, but they have recently changed their label, so it won't look the same as this. But it's very decent, had a lot of lovely floral but also oaky sort of flavours behind it, and it was just generally very enjoyable. Shame it came in the 330ml bottle. I would have liked to have had more, but I have seen them at beer and cider festivals as well, so definitely keep your eyes out for them, and also try their beers out as well, because their beers are very good too. This one has an average rating of 3.47 on Untappd, so yeah, still above average ratings for all these ciders that I'm showing you guys, so always good to try them out. How many we got left? We're in the top 4, so that's good. We're in the top 4, and this one I've had only once, which is actually a bit of a surprise. I thought I had it more than this, but it is Hallett's National Treasure. There we go. See if I can get the label there. Yes. Can't really see it, but yeah, Hallett's Cider Company are a very decent cider company. They produce some top quality ciders, and their National Treasure was obviously no exception. I wouldn't have kind of classed this as a sweet cider, but it had the basis of a sweet cider, but it was had smooth texture, nice juicy mouthfeel to it, and once again, with most of these ciders, it was incredibly easy to drink. 5% ABV, you know, it is quite easy to maybe have a couple of these if you're going out into the pub or something. And this one has got an average rating of 3.56 on Untappd. These guys are based in Newbridge, Caerphilly, Wales. For some reason, I thought they were a lot closer to me than that, but there you go. So yeah, that was the number 4 spot, National Treasure from Hallett's. So number 3 is one of my more recent reviews. Yes, I've reviewed this one. It is from Pulped Cider Company, and you've probably seen this already, but it is their Level Cider. Let's see if I can actually turn the brightness up all the way here. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit better, I suppose. But yeah, I love the bottle labelling on these guys. I love that they've got a little graph on the side of the bottles to show like the different characteristics of each cider that they're going to do. But this one was very, very well rounded. A lot of peculiar, weird flavours in this cider, but they all worked really, really well, and they just culminated into a very lovely tasting drink. And well, it got very high marks for me. Not going to spoil it because, well, just check out my full review of it. But this one has got an average rating of 3.58 on Untappd. So, again, all above average. So, yeah, always good to check them out. So the second spot is another one that I've done a review on, and it is from Circle Cider, and it is their Butcher's Boy. Now, I'd love to know the backstory of the naming of this cider. I'm pretty sure it did say on the back of the bottle there. But yeah, handcrafted sweet cider, really lovely thick, thick chewy texture behind it. You could really feel that you were having every single gulp from this, and it, again, just incredibly drinkable, and just some very lovely flavours coming from this. Again, check out my review of it. It was a very enjoyable drink, and I rated it very, very highly. So this one got an average rating of 3.63 at the moment on Untappd. So again, all very above average. And so the top spot is the only one that I've given top marks to for a sweet cider, and it was one that I actually I had at my local Wetherspoons, would you believe? I think it was part of their cider festival, because yeah, it must have been, because you can see the other two ciders here. But it is Sheppey's Old Conky. There we go. There you see the labelling there. Yeah, Sheppey's. What a surprise. I know that Sheppey's have been a very, very decent cider company for many, many years. They have changed their range so much recently. A lot of their old bottles aren't available anymore. But if you can get a hold of Old Conky, it is an amazing example of a sweet cider. Some lovely, really fruity flavours coming from it, especially just as a... It almost tasted like an infused cider, but it wasn't. It was just a pure, full-on apple cider, but the amount of flavouring that you got from it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, definitely check out Old Conky from Sheppey's, which has got an average rating of 3.58 on Untappd. So there we go. That is your top 10 sweet ciders on Untappd from me. So, have you tried any of the ones before? What did you make of them? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Do you agree with my list? Well, basically any comments you have, I'd love to hear from them. So, next time, it's going to be something a little bit different, because for some reason they don't seem to have a medium dry category on Untappd. So, you're just going to have to watch out and see what the next category is going to be. But for now, that is it for this countdown. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will be back with another delicious and tasty cider review very soon. So, take care, guys. Until next time.